I'm going to just cool. Starts talking about it.
Goodies in your desk also.
Council Chamber on Thursday, September 12, 2013 at 7 p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice of this meeting was posted on September 5th, 2013 at 6:29 p.m. This meeting is being taped and is live on SATV. Absent, Councilor Carr called me. He's not going to be here. Councilor Fury moves suspense of the reading of the record of the previous meeting. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. I ask that everyone please rise and join Councilor Go in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just want a point of personal privilege in the beginning of the meeting. There was a resident in Ward 4 that passed away last Wednesday, Cheryl Pizzeni. She was the president of the Witchcraft Heights PTO for 7 years. Her husband passed away 2 years ago, and they have 3 kids. One's a junior in high school, and one's in the middle school, and one's at Witchcraft. And just being the Ward 4 counselor, and she's active, both parents were active in many Salem organizations. Just wanted to do a moment of silence for them. Thank you.
Stand up, fellas.
Thank you. Public testimony, none. Hearings, none. Appointments and reappointments.
Held from the last meeting, the mayor's appointment of Laura DeToma Swanson to serve as a member of the Cable Television and Technology Commission with a term to expire on December 31st, 2013.
We're going to hold till the next meeting because she contacted us, was unable to make the meeting.
That's correct, Mr. President. Thank you.
Further appointments and reappointments.
Mayor's appointment of Thomas Campbell to serve as a member of the Conservation Commission with a term to expire on March 1st, 2015.
Held under the rules. Further appointments and reappointments.
Mayor's appointment of Jeffrey Cohen to serve as an alternate member of the Renewable Energy Task Force with a term to expire March 1st, 2015.
Councilor Torriello.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Torriello asks suspension of the rules. Any objection? None being. Councilor Torriello.
I further move, given Mr. Cohen is here, I further move for a confirmation by roll call vote.
Under discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Cohen, we all know him. He's been active in environmental and recycling in the city for a number of years. He's currently our recycling czar, which is the nice short way of putting his rather lengthy title. And he's very active. I'm sure he'll do a terrific job of helping with the task force.
Further discussion. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too like to echo those comments. It seems that he keeps sending my wife notes about what she should be doing to increase her recycling. I'm only getting a little leery of that, but Jeff does do a great job, and I think he's going to be a great addition to this. I was most recently at an e-cycle day where you could bring in your television, up to 2 televisions or an air conditioner, and Saturday morning, first thing, there he was sitting at the door with his counter counting how many people are coming through. So I think he does a great job, and he's really committed, and I think he's a good appointment to this board.
Further discussion. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski? Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the appointment of Jeffrey Cohen to the Renewable Energy Task Force as an alternate member, 10 councilors voting, 1 absent, 10 in the affirmative. The appointment carries. Councilor Turiel,
Hey, Mr. President, I move for suspension of rules to allow Mr. Cohen to address the council.
any objection? Would like to speak?
I'm a little shy in front of the camera. First of all, thank you, everyone. A lot of people here don't know it, but I've worked for 2 different solar companies. One does mostly direct sales, and the other one does installations for a couple of the really large companies that do leasing and PPAs, okay? So I've got some good experience. I have 36 solar panels on my roof. I'm going to make an 18% return on my investment. I know a lot of people in the council are into doing things for good financial motives, like the recycling, and this is one of them. So one of the things I wanted to mention, if people don't know about it, but Jeff Ely, who's the energy manager, sustainability manager, it looks like we're going to be designated a solarized city starting in October, which would give us an advantage. Only about 8 cities are designated per year by the Mass CEC, the Clean Energy Center. It will mean that we will pick an installer. Residents don't have to go with that installer, but the installer has to guarantee a price for the residents. It's about 30 or 40% less than if you just went out and contacted someone. So obviously any other installers would be foolish not to match that price. I worked with John Keenan to get him panels on his roof, and they've asked me to be the volunteer solar coach, where I could counsel residents on what's good for them. So I think one of the things that I bring to the Renewable Energy Task Force that they don't have as much of is solar. But I feel like it's it's always great for the city to be investing in ideas outside of the box. So I want to thank you guys very much, and if you don't mind, I'm going to go watch the Patriots game. And thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of the following to serve on the Design Review Board with the following terms to expire. Ernest DeMeo, March 1st, 2015. Paul Duran, March 1st, 2016. David Jakewith, March 1st, 2015. Glenn Kennedy, March 1st, 2015. And Helen Sides, March 1st, 2014.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before I move for confirmation by roll call vote, I'm just going to ask if anybody on the council has any problem with someone from out of the city being on this group. Otherwise, I would move to separate it. So if anybody has any comment, if they have no concern, then I'll move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Okay.
Thank you.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. On the reappointment of the members to the Design Review Board, 10 councilors voting, 1 absent, 10 in the affirmative. Appointments carried. Further appointments and reappointments.
Mayor's reappointment of the following to serve on the Salem Housing Authority with the following terms to expire. John Boers, March 1st, 2017. Peter Strout, March 1st, 2018.
Councilor Sosnowski? Oh, Councilor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Okay. Any discussion?
No discussion.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. On the reappointment of John Boris and Peter Strout to the Salem Housing Authority, 10 councilors voting, 1 absent, 10 in the affirmative. Appointments carry. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Susan Keenan to serve as a member of the Salem Historical Commission with a term to expire March 1st, 2016.
Counselor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Any discussion?
No discussion, Mr. President.
Discussion. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Terrio?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On the reappointment of Susan Keenan to the Salem Historical Commission, 10 councilors voting, 1 absent, 10 in the affirmative. The appointment carried. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of David Pavich to serve as a member of the Salem and Beverly Water Supply Board with a term to expire March 1st, 2016.
What is that? Counselor O'Keefe.
Move for reappointment.
Counselor O'Keefe moves for reappointment by roll call vote. Any discussion? No discussion? Okay. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Terrio?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fury?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. On the reappointment of David Pavich to the Salem Beverly Water Supply Board, 10 councilors voting, 1 absent, 10 in the affirmative. The appointment carries. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Michael Paniton to serve as a constable with a term to expire August 20th, 2016.
Counselor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will this matter be received and placed on file?
Counselor Sosnowski moves received and placed on file. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Communications from the mayor.
We have an appropriation of $95,000 from capital outlay renovation and repairs account to be expended for the repair of the North Street Fire Station.
Counselor Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Any objection? None being. Counselor Prevey.
I'd also move at this time for adoption.
Under discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's a letter that is attached to our packet from the mayor relative to this request. The $95,000 is in conjunction with a grant that we received from the state for $65,000. So the entire project to redo the North Street Firehouse is $130,000 for the renovation project. And I think it's a wonderful thing because I know just during the time that I've been ward councilor, there's been a lot of talk about trying to see if there is funding out there to try to rehab the place and bring it back to life. It is an old building. As the mayor's letter points out, it's the 3rd oldest operating firehouse in the nation, and that's something that we should be proud of having here in Salem, very, very historic city. Not only that, but also to try to seek out grants to make sure that that history is preserved and that continues to function as a firehouse. As you know, it's in Ward 6. It serves the people in Ward 6 and throughout the city. I think it's of a tremendous value that we really have to preserve. So with that, there's an outline basically of all the things that are going to be done to address some of the deficiencies and some of the repairs that need to be done and the rehabilitation of it. So I think it's a wonderful thing. I'm looking forward to this project getting underway as well as the completion of it to see it restored to some of its old beauty that it used to have at one point in time. So if there's no objections, I would certainly ask for this matter to be adopted now. Thank you.
Any further Councilor Legault.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I surely do support this. I'd just like to point out that the mayor did submit a second letter replacing the one in the packet, which raises the total for the record to $160,000 as opposed to $130,000. So I just wanted to point that out for the record, but I surely do support this.
Further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from the mayor.
An appropriation of $14,000 from capital outlay renovation and repairs account to be expended for the purchase of IT equipment for the police department.
Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Any objection? None being. Council Prevey.
I'd also move for adoption.
On discussion?
The $14,000 that's being requested is for the purchase of technology equipment for the police department. And as you can see in some of the fine detail that's outlined in the mayor's letter, as well as the police chief, that it's technology that our police department very much needs, obviously, to provide the support to the officers, to our police department, to really kind of make sure that it remains current in terms of the technology that's out there to assist the police department and public safety, I think, is very important. There's a breakdown also, I believe, as part of that. There's a portion of the money is going to go to 10 computers. There's also a Google Nexus 10 that's supposed to use for undercover purposes. They have to use that particular type of phone. There's additional funds for technology of computer parts, various programs and maintenance, and also for professional building, Wi-Fi, hardware. So that's the total, and the chief certainly outlines in detail the necessity and the needs for those things. And obviously, if we want our police department to be supported and to provide the best service, I think these are items which they definitely need. So I would certainly ask for adoption tonight. Thank you.
Councilor Turiel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also support this. I've gone through at various times with the police department some of the technology they do have in place, and I'll say it's absolutely remarkable what they've been able to accomplish with the absolutely ancient systems that they've had in use there for many years. It's terrific that they now have an IT specialist on staff who can help them keep on top of this, and this is a great step forward for them in helping to modernize the whole operation and let them be more productive and get more done. So this is going to be very, very good for them, and it's, you know, a really good value.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from the mayor.
We have a transfer of $8,519.04 from reserves Witch House to Witch House seasonal account.
Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption.
On discussion?
Mr. President, this money is being requested because, as we all know, Gordon College had pulled out of overseeing the operation of Pioneer Village, and Elizabeth Peterson, who is our Witch House manager, has taken on the additional duty of overseeing that, making sure it continues to operate, which I think is a great thing. But unfortunately, as a result of that, it's expanded her hours and the demands, and it's an additional job for her. So obviously this money is being appropriated, or at least proposed to be appropriated, for the purpose of compensating her for that work. So I think one question I do have, and that's something I guess I can certainly discuss with Karen Parton and the park director, is what is the overall plan going forward? That's the only question I have, kind of separate and apart from this appropriation, as to is the plan for her to continue to do this just kind of indefinitely, or is there an alternate plan that's being explored at this point in time? But I think for immediate sake, I think this is a good plan, and very happy that Elizabeth has taken on this additional responsibility, but we've got to make sure that, you know, she's compensated for that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Fieri.
Yes, please, Mr. President. With the loss of Gordon College as a prime supporter of the Old Town Hall of the Pioneer Village, we're very lucky to have her step up, because she turned the Witch House, as a Midas touch, she turned the Witch House right around. And I think with her participation involved, I think Pioneer Village will take part, maybe Salem State College, maybe the National Park Service, other agencies that can step in and help that out, because that's a lost jewel. We don't want to have that jewel lost and anything happen to it there. So we're very lucky to have her step up to the plate. So thank you, Councilor.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order to accept a donation totaling $25,310 to be deposited into funds listed below from the Town of Saugus, Town of Danvers, Town of Swampscott, Loyal Order of Moose, and Salem Lodge 218, Eastern District Attorney's Office.
Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption.
Under discussion?
Just briefly, in terms of a breakdown, it's great. Town of Saugus, Danvers, and Swampscott all contributed money to the police summer camp, which we're very thankful to them. Also on here, the District Attorney's Office had donated $20,000 to the Law Enforcement Trust Fund. And I also want to highlight the fact that the Moose Lodge, which is in Ward 6, of which I'm a member and several members of the council are, donated a little over $1,300 to support the K-9 donation, well, the K-9 units, and it's the K-9 donation fund. Last year, when we had Project K-9, we went through and had different fundraising events. One of them was a golf tournament. And so Pat Foley, who lives in Ward 6, stepped forward and indicated he wanted to have another fundraiser for that purpose. He stepped forward. We weren't looking for volunteers, but he really wanted to do it. So I want to thank Pat and all the people who helped organize that particular golf tournament for this purpose. So those are the funds for that, and we certainly want to accept that and make sure that the police are able to utilize it for the new K-9 unit.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order to authorize the mayor to execute an easement to Turner's Seafoods, 43 Church Street, to construct and maintain a stairway to provide access to lower levels for deliveries.
Councilor Sosnowski?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I have a question here before I move for, actually, I need to put this on the floor before I can discuss it, right? I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Okay, under discussion.
Yes, thank you. Under discussion, the concern I have here, I think this is a good idea, but Councilor Siegel and I have been discussing whether or not a fire truck could fit by there after they construct that piece there. So I would be concerned with that. I mean, if you look at the diagram here, is there enough room for a fire truck to get by there, especially when every once in a while a car decides to park there? And obviously they're going to be talking about putting trucks there as that's going to be their service point. Now, I certainly want to support this, and I want to do it quickly because it obviously they want to be in tune for the October season coming up. My concern is strictly, is it a safety hazard? And has that been discussed? And has anybody talked about that with the fire department? I mean, this is what I'd like to know. Did this have the approval of the fire chief? Right. Other than that, I mean, I think it's a great idea, but I just want to make sure the safety's there. And the other, excuse me?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I think if they pull a building permit, the fire department has to sign off on it.
Have they pulled the permit?
Well, they need to get the lease first to construct the...
Okay, because I don't see the permit in here.
No, they need to get the lease first before they can even apply for it.
All right. All right. That being the case, I'd like to hear from Councilor O'Keefe.
Yeah, I think I'm
before we
going to
take
have
the
a
vote
little
on
to
it.
say about this.
Councilor O'Keefe?
To you, respectfully, you both councils have good points. If you look at the map, and if you see the point, the geodetic is 78 degrees, 30 minutes, 10 seconds. You see that on the map? Okay, that's the geodetic measurement of that location. But if you look in the fine print, it says 20 feet between the building and 1 Salem Green. There's 20 feet between. Fire lane is 18 feet. So if they take 6 feet from the 20, that leaves 14. So they don't have a fire lane. Plus, there's a parking space there. What are they going to do with that parking space? That's gone, isn't it? If we go with this, there's a park. Mr. Harrington usually parked in there every day. Is the car next to the building, and fire lane is 18 feet. So this does not comply. So I think it should be discussed with the fire chief and with the building inspector timely, right away, to resolve the matter. Because you can't, the trucks have got to come in there to come here. The ladder truck has got to come through here, the new ladder truck we have. And, you know, the outriggers go out, they go out 18 feet. You know, that's the length of a fire truck when those, and you don't want to have your car there when those hydraulic rams are coming out to support the ladder truck, which is a crane. So we need 18 feet. So timely, Committee on Ordinance, License, and Legal, whatever you want to do. Let's discuss it with Chief
You all set?
Cody.
Councilor Sosnowski?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, the other concern is if you look around the corner, which would be right about here, it would be about, let's say, 5 o'clock on the diagram. There's a hydrant there right now, and there's always a car parked in front of it, and the fire trucks can never get access to it. There's always a construction vehicle parked there. My situation is this. Because this is a timely thing, I would like to conditionally approve this pending the approval of the fire chief. All right, so that way there, we didn't have to put it into committee. It could get out there. We would not be delaying this if it was a good thing, all right, under the condition that the fire chief approves it. If he approves it, fine, let it go forward, all right, and then we go from there. So my motion would be that we approve it by roll call vote conditionally with the approval of the fire department.
Second. Council Legault, well, seconded by Council Terrell. Council Legault?
If I may, thank you, Mr. President. I would certainly support a conditional approval here this evening, but I'd like to throw just a little bit of reality on the situation here. And I'm not a fire expert like Councilor O'Keefe, but even without this easement for this staircase, there's absolutely no way that any ladder truck on the North Shore is ever going to access that lane from either end. It'll never make the corner from Church Street, not even close, and it would probably be unable to make the corner from the pedestrian mall. The only trucks that would be able to access there would be the pumpers or engines, and they would have to come in from the mall. I don't think they could make that corner from Church Street either. So this staircase being there or not is not going to affect the ladder truck access on that side. It can't be done. But I still think it would be wise to attach the condition that the fire chief does have a look at this before we actually grant the easement.
Are you from Turner Seafood? Suspension of the rules to allow him to address the council?
Absolutely. I'd move to suspend the rules for this gentleman to speak.
If you want to come to the podium and then just state your name.
Good evening. I'm Jim Turner, Turner Seafoods. I've listened to your concerns. This is the first concerns I've heard on that. You know, the area that we're looking at, I call it a bump out area. It's actually, it's brick bordered, and currently there's just a very low, like almost like an ivy landscaped area. There's a pollard that is on the, I guess the inside, I guess away from our building, that protects. There's also that protects a light fixture, and there's also another pollard at the very end of this area as well. So those fire trucks, we're not encroaching into the. My view was the fire lane was never part of this bumped out area. It was. There's a sign that says fire lane, but there's a pollard there. So the fire truck's obviously not going to go through the pollard. So the fire lane was always to the. If you're coming into that lane to the left side of that pollard, we are in no way encroaching into that lane. We're just looking for permission to use what is this landscaped, bumped out area. That's nothing but landscape. So, but this is the first concern I've heard on that. And we did have the fire inspector there and looked at it. We also had the city electrician there because part of this plan is we would have to reposition the light slightly so that it would give off the same light in that lane.
Understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, any further discussion? So it's on Council Sosnowski's motion to approve it
With everything
conditionally.
that's been said here, I believe the gentleman here, Mr. Turner, I mean, everything's fine. I still, you know, if we approve this conditionally, then there's no delay. All right, and so, I mean, everything could go forward. All I want to do is get a letter from the chief saying he's happy.
I think that's fine. I don't think it'll be a problem. Councilor O'Keefe.
So you now, we clearly understand, and Mr. Turner understands, that the fire chief, Chief Cody, is going to send the city council a letter regarding accessibility for fire apparatus between his property and 1 Salem Green. He understands when he talks to the chief about this? The chief, David Cody, David W. Cody. Thank you.
Any further discussion? So the motion is to approve it conditionally based on recommendation from the fire chief, David Cody. Roll call vote. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Turiel?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Siegel?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fiore?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Upon the question of authorizing the mayor to execute an easement to Turner Seafood located at 43 Church Street with the condition that the fire chief sign off. 10 councilors voting, 1 absent, 10 in the affirmative. Matter carries. Further communications from the mayor received after the deadline of Tuesday noon.
We have a bond order for the repurposing of unexpended bond note of proceeds totaling $160,917 for the purpose of providing additional funds for the construction of a new turf field and track upgrade at Bertram Field.
Counsel Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules to allow the late file.
Any objection? None being, Counsel Prevey.
I move for first passage by roll call vote, and as part of that motion, I would ask if it does pass that it ends up being referred to Committee on Administration and Finance, co-post with Committee of the Whole. We'll have a hearing on it, and if we'll make whatever changes and adjustments. If that's the will of the committee, afterwards we'll vote it out, and then it'll be ready for second passage at the next council meeting. So that would be my proposal.
Okay. Counsel Fieri.
Mr. President, I can strongly concur, and I appreciate the chairman's opportunity to have this go for first passage. This will be a field of dreams with a new scoreboard for the Bertram Field, a new concession and food stand, long overdue, and a new track for the students, and a new field for the football team. And in fact, Council President played on that field and knows what those conditions are like there. It's got a new field of dreams. And one of my first acts on the City Council back about 18 years ago here on the City Council was to have Salem High School Bertram Field a field of lights. Tomorrow night, most cities and towns are playing football under a field of lights. And we'll be playing most of our football games away until the Thanksgiving game. But I think many people are looking forward to Thanksgiving in Salem, Beverly, Salem, natural great rivalry between two great cities, and a field of dreams for our students. So it's a world-class opportunity, a chance of a lifetime to make this a 21st century facility. Anybody who's gone there to get a hot dog or hamburger there knows the conditions of their food concession stand. It's long overdue for repair, and the students are really tightly congested, even to be in there. The field itself needs repair. So this is a win-win for the city of Salem, win-win. In fact, I was a young man playing on Bertram Field, doing my gym classes back at the old Salem High School. And four of my children, or four of my five boys, played either track or football or other sports on that field. So fortunately, Salem will have a 21st century that I think your children will be glad to play on as they get older, Council President. So thank you very much, Councilor Prevey.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilor O'Keefe.
remarks. I sort of recall during my term at the school committee, the council president's father and myself introduced numerous orders to put lights at Bertram Field. As you know, his father was very athletically inclined. Dr. Ryan was very athletically inclined, and we did that. So I don't think you're fair in saying you're the first one. I think there are others before you.
I never said that.
Okay. Oh, I got the impression that you were taking credit for something that someone else had originally.
In fact, I serve, if I may,
Council Fieri.
I served on two committees, sincerely, Councilor, and one failed, getting that opportunity of lights on Bertram Field for Pep Canacho and others. Fortunately, Jack Welch from Ward 6 stepped up to the plate from GE, and he made the field possible. So it was a long series of events, a lot of work, and I appreciate your input. Thank you.
I would also mention our 9 children, and our 5 grandchildren also participated in that field right there. So we have proprietary interest in it too.
All right.
Thank you.
Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I neglected to give some background on this request to begin with. And that is, the mayor is seeking to repurpose 3 different school bonds that the council had previously approved back in, 2 of them in 2008, 1 in 2012, that the city has not used that we've already approved. So the money is sitting there essentially, and the mayor is asking for the $160,000 because there was additional contamination remediation that's needed for Bertram Field. As we all know, the council had approved that project to go forward. It's still moving forward at its current schedule and it's supposed to be completed totally in, I think it's November the 1st is what the mayor had put in her letter. So just by way of explanation, it's something, unfortunately, when it comes to remediating a lot of the land in Salem, it's contaminated, especially some of the older stuff, and a lot of times we don't know what the true cost ends up being until the project is well underway, and this is yet another example of that. So these are the additional costs, and it's my understanding from speaking with the mayor's office that everything that has been assessed in terms of contamination is contained within this particular cost, and that there'll be no additional requests coming forward on this remediation. So I think to stay on schedule, we need to approve it tonight. for first passage, have it go into committee, we'll have a hearing on it, and then vote it out for second passage at the next council meeting.
Thank you. Council McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm not going to get into who did what, where, when, how, but I want to thank the Chair of Finance to doing this, because it is a timely matter, because in my discussions with the Mayor's office and with other people involved in the project, if anyone hasn't had a chance to go up there, it's spectacular. But the timely matter is they want to make sure that the lights get changed before they put the track down, before they put the turf down, because they have the big ladder trucks out there to change the lights on the poles. Obviously, when we're making a huge investment here for everybody who's going to use that field. New soccer nets, so you're not going to tear up the field. Why use an old soccer net that someone's going to drag across a brand new $1 million field? You want to have the right stuff. So this is just a way of housekeeping to finish what we intended to do. I think it's great that we're going to pass it tonight, get it passed, have a meeting on this, and get it for second passage, make sure these things can get done, to make sure that we all can go see a football game on Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Sergeant.
Just quickly, Mr. President, we do run into that when a street is being hot topped. Seems like a month later they come down that street and dig a hole to put new wires or new pipes or something like that. And what Council McCarthy said really rings true. We don't want to be bringing heavy equipment onto this field with all that money spent on it. So all of the lights are going to be changed. Maybe somebody can make a call to Jack Welch while we're changing the lights, Mr. Fury, and maybe get a little donation that way there also, or through GE. But also, we keep mentioning sports here, and sport is important. But I didn't know what I'm going to say when I was 16, 17, 18. I didn't realize that, of course, the academics was more important. But they forced me to get a C or a B in order to play sports. And I'm so much better off because of it, and did better in college because of it. So this is to get this field done, to keep kids more active, because the more active kids are more successful in their grades. And because when they're out there, they have better social skills, a good circle of friends, coaches keeping an eye on them. And it's not so much about talent, it's about keeping them busy and out of trouble. And this will be a great facility for that. And with all the different rules in place, we're going to get kids with better marks and better social skills because of this field also. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Good point. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counsel Terrio?
Yes.
Counsel Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counsel Siegel?
Yes.
Counsel Sargent?
Yes.
Counsel Prevey?
Yes.
Counsel McCarthy?
Yes.
Counsel Legault?
Yes.
Counsel O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counsel Fury?
Yes.
Counsel Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. First passage, bond order for repurposing unexpected bond note totaling $160,917 for upgrades to Bertram Field. 10 councilors voting, 1 absent, 10 in the affirmative. The matter carries. Mayor's informational page, none.
Oh,
What?
do I?
Oh, yeah.
Move for immediate reconsideration, the hopes that does not prevail.
Council Prevey moves for immediate reconsideration, hopes does not prevail. All those in favor? Opposed? Mayor's informational page, none. Motions, orders, and resolutions. Oh, do we have something?
Late file. Late file.
I don't have that. I don't have it in my agenda.
Received after the deadline of Tuesday noon, Mayor notifying City Council of the Park and Recreation Commission's recent conditional approval of the Fearless Flying Trapeze Academy use of a small portion of Leslie's Retreat Park in September and October.
Council Prevey,
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for suspension of the rules.
any objection? None being, Council Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is something that, in looking at, I spoke with Councilor Sosnowski, because obviously it's in Ward 6, but it previously was in Ward 2, and we have some concerns about it. However, this is informational, submitted by the mayor. It's not requesting any type of action at all. Nevertheless, I would still want to refer essentially this informational notification into committee, and then just try to find out a little bit more information, because I don't know a lot about it. I know Councilor Sosnowski has some questions about it, just so we can get a better understanding of what the details of it are, and we can bring the information out to the neighborhood. So,
What committee do you want to put in? Ordinances?
community and economic development. How's that sound?
Okay. Any further
So-
discussion?
It co-posted.
Co-posted.
I don't know.
And no further discussion? Okay. Council Sosnowski?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, briefly, it was just, I mentioned this to some of the constituents that live in the area. As Councilor Creevy already spoke to, when they did the lines separating Ward 2 and Ward 6, originally it was the river, now it's Bridge Street, so now Leslie's Retreat Park is actually 6. However, resident-wise, it abuts the River Street neighborhoods, it abuts Federal Street neighborhoods, and when I made the phone calls to ask if anybody there was aware of this, nobody was aware of this. And they had some questions. They said they thought that maybe this is a great thing. It might, quote unquote, might be the best thing since sliced bread, quote unquote. However, they wanted to ask some questions. What are the hours of operations? Is it going to be at nighttime? Is there going to be anybody there to secure the place in the evening so as nobody can go on and get hurt? That type of stuff. So, I mean, these are just, everybody's not necessarily, from what I understand, they're probably going to say this is a fine idea, but they want to hear first. They want to be given the courtesy of being told what's going on. Right? And so going into committee is good. That way there we can notify the neighborhood, they can go down. And if they have any questions, they ask. Okay, thank you.
Councilor Go?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd also like to point out that we do have the dog park down there, as it does say in the letter. I had a rather unfortunate experience there back during the Salem cleanup day, where a rather large female Rottweiler decided to make an early morning snack of my hand. We noticed while we were down there that there were a lot of people using that dog park that release their dogs from their vehicles off leash and let them run to the park and then run from the park back to their vehicles. Now, we notified the dog officer and the Salem police, but if we're going to do this, and I have no problem with that we do need to make sure that the people who use that dog park are aware that there's going to be activity down there, that people that are, their dogs are not used to seeing, and in amounts that they're not used to seeing are going to be there. So we most definitely need to coordinate with the people that use that dog park so that some young kid doesn't go through the same rather unfortunate experience that I did that morning.
Good point. Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, on the motion to send it to Committee on Community and Economic Development, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Mayor's informational page. None. Motions, orders, and resolutions. Council Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a little rusty, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, City of Salem and City Council on September 12, 2013, ordered that the enclosed tag day for the Salem Youth Football Cheerleading for September 21, 2013 and September 22, 2013 be granted. No discussion.
No discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem in the year 2013, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to fire lanes, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Chapter 42, Section 13B, fire lanes is hereby amended by adding the following. English Street on the even-numbered westerly side beginning at the intersection of Allen Street and continuing for 25 feet in a southerly direction, no parking tow zone fire lane. This ordinance shall take as effect as provided by City Charter.
Under discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under discussion, probably a month or so ago, unfortunately, a visitor to someone down on English Street was towed, and by doing so, it kind of started a whole series of questions with regards around signage in the area, whether or not a certain parking spot was actually a legal spot because of the way English Street narrows at that end, and Allen Street, if you're on Allen, you're trying to turn out. If you park there, then you wouldn't be. So I want to give credit to Lieutenant Przewski and Chief Cody. I sent them both emails, followed up with phone calls. They both went down there and met down there like the next day and came up with a plan to increase the signage and this amendment to the fire lane law to prevent that from happening and hopefully prevent people from getting towed in a situation down the road. So I would ask for approval.
Okay. Further discussion? None being, all those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Council McCarthy.
Thank you. City of Salem in the year 2013, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to handicap zones. Be it ordained that the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Chapter 42, Section 50B. Handicap zones, limited time is hereby amended by adding the following: repeal Webb Street in front of number 27 for a distance of 20 feet, handicap parking tow zone. This is an ordinance shall take effect as provided by city charter.
Any discussion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Briefly, this handicap sign is no longer required, and Lieutenant Pazuski has recommended its removal, so I would approve. I would ask for approval.
Any further discussion? None being, all those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Counsel McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem, in the year 2013, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to tow zones. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Chapter 42, Section 74, General Prohibition Tow Zones is hereby amended by adding the following: Levitt Street, northerly side, starting at the intersection of Lafayette Streets and continuing in an easterly direction for 82 feet, no parking tow zone, 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. This ordinance shall take effect as provided by City Charter.
Under discussion?
Briefly, Mr. President, this is this board is the Barrowby Funeral Home property, and they've had an ongoing issue, even though that area is marked for general prohibition, no parking. What's happened is people are parking there, they're not paying attention to the signs, and without the ability to have the words tow in there, they can't come in and tow. So this is just trying to beef up the existing that's on there. So it comes with a recommendation of Lieutenant Pazuski.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Counsel Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem and the City Council, September 12, 2013. Order that the year-to-date budget report dated June 30th, 2013 be referred to Committee on Administration and Finance.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Counsel Prevey.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem and the City Council, September 12, 2013, ordered that the monthly financial report dated June 30th, 2013 be referred to Committee on Administration and Finance.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor? Opposed? Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Counsel O'Keefe, can you take the picture?
Recognize the Councilor of Ward 4, Jerry Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Year 2013, ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to traffic handicap parking, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Chapter 42, Section 50B, handicap zones, limited time is hereby amended by adding the following: Boston Street in front of 116 for a distance of 20 feet, handicap parking tow zone. This ordinance shall take effect as provided by City Charter.
Remarks, Councilor?
This is for a handicapped resident that lives on Boston Street near Blue Ribbon Cake. I think it's actually before that, and got the recommendation of Lieutenant Pazuski.
Any other remarks from any member of the City Council? Hearing none. All in favor? Opposed? So voted. Unanimous.
Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Siegel.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem, in the year 2013, an ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to handicap zones. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Chapter 42, Section 50B, handicap zones, limited time is hereby amended by adding the following: Summer Street, across from number 80 Summer Street, in front of number 79, for a distance of 20 feet, handicap parking tow zone. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect as provided by City Charter.
Any discussion?
Basically, just as you just stated, it's a handicapped resident who needs parking.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Turiel.
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem, year 2013, ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to parking prohibitions, towing zone, resident sticker. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Salem as follows. Section 1, Chapter 42, Section 75. Resident sticker parking is hereby amended by adding the following: Eden Street, Zone E, color orange in its entirety, resident sticker parking tow zone. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect as provided by City Charter.
On discussion?
Briefly, Mr. President, this is something that has been they've had spillover issues in that neighborhood for quite some time. The residents came forward and unanimously asked for this, and we approved it as quickly as possible because it has been a real problem on that street.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Counselor Sosnowski?
Thank you, Mr. President. City of Salem City Council, September 12, 2013. Ordered that the Committee of the Whole meet to discuss the ongoing restoration of the arch in Salem Common, and also to invite the representatives of the Park and Rec Commission, the Park and Recreation Director, a representative of the Historic Commission, the Building Inspector, a representative of the Veterans Council, Rich LaPercha, the Scoutmaster of Troop 24, Peter LaChapelle, and Mark Mesh of Winter Street Architects.
Under discussion?
Under discussion, yeah, Mr. President, we've had this before us before, and what has happened now, I have a request from Mark Mesh. Now, everybody knows that Mark Mesh is a world-class architect. He has been working pro bono on this thing with a lot of different people, especially Peter LaChapelle. Peter LaChapelle is actually the spark plug behind this entire thing. He's actually the representative from the Salem Common Neighborhood Association, who's been the designated person to try to push this forward. He's doing a remarkable job, by the way. Well, anyways, Mark Mesh has a PowerPoint presentation that he wants to bring in and show the council. Toward that end, this is the protocol that I have to follow to bring it together so that he can make that presentation. All right? And these are the people, these are the principals that are involved, and hopefully we can get moving, because it's a great arch, and we need to get some things happening.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Fieri?
This is a point of personal privilege, if I may, Councilor Sosnowski. May I add, CPA committee, the CPA committee, Community Preservation Act committee, is meeting on a host of issues. And I spoke to Tim Shea, who's a member of it, and they're talking about that very same issue on the arch. So the more help, the more participation you get, whether we get any funds from the Community Preservation Act that was passed by the voters in the last election, is something to be done. But no harm in asking that opportunity, that road of opportunity for that arch, because that arch has so much history. I spoke to Peter LaChapelle, who's a real advocate for that situation, that he would not be, he would be like to have as much participation as possible to get that a reality. So would you consider having a member of the Community Preservation Act committee on that meeting?
Councilor
Mr. President, I have no problem with a representative of the CPA joining the party. None whatsoever. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further motions, orders, and resolutions? None. Communications from city officials.
City Solicitor Elizabeth Renaud submitting an order to authorize the mayor to execute on behalf of the City of Salem a utility easement granting Mass Electric Company for underground electric distribution system at 10 Blaney Street, the Salem Ferry Landing.
That's Councilor Prevey, but I think it should be Councilor Sosnowski.
Well, I think it should be Counselor
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Councilor McCarthy?
So I'm going to pass the ball to him.
It's 6 more tries.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for approval,
On discussion?
or actually by adoption by roll call vote.
On discussion?
Yeah, I mean, the work that was done, if you read the letter, the work that was done on the Blaney Street Pier, obviously was done, and what's happened was we buried a whole bunch of underground utilities, and we own the property, but we have to grant them an easement, so if there's any work that needs to be done on those lines, they can do the work. So it's just cleaning up the technicality of if something needs to be done there, they have to have the easement so they can go onto our property to do it. So I move for approval. I would encourage my colleagues to vote yes.
Any further discussion?
No, you don't need that. So.
None being? Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Terrio?
Yes.
Counselor Sosnowski?
Yes.
Counselor Segal?
Yes.
Counselor Sargent?
Yes.
Counselor Prevey?
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Legault?
Yes.
Counselor O'Keefe?
Yes.
Counselor Fieri?
Yes.
Counselor Ryan?
Yes. Thank you. On question of authorizing the mayor to execute an easement to Mass Electric Company at 10 Blaney Street, 10 councilors voting, 1 absent, 10 in the affirmative. The matter carries. Further communications from city officials.
We have the city solicitor Elizabeth Renaud submitting an ordinance amending Chapter 1, Section 1-10C, non-criminal fines to include penalties for regulating the maintenance of abandoned and foreclosing residential and commercial properties.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption for first passage.
On discussion.
Under discussion, thank you, Mr. President. Basically, as we all know, throughout the entire city, we have a lot of abandoned properties. People have walked away from upside-down mortgages, and they become points that they attract undesirables to the city, plus
there's a variety of negative points to all these things. But that being said, we've discussed most of this at length at various meetings. We had this come before us just before we went on summer break. We wanted to tweak it a little bit. It has now been tweaked, and it now has the recommendation of Beth Renard, the building inspector, health department, everybody that was going to be involved with it is now on board with this, and it's a great thing. We can finally start to get some of these abandoned properties taken care of, and so they don't take down the neighborhoods that they're in. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from city officials?
City Solicitor Elizabeth Renaud submitting the following order relative to fines collected for abandoned foreclosed properties. In order to accept Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E, to establish a revolving account for the registration fees and fines collected for abandoned foreclosed properties to be utilized by the Director of Inspectional Services.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption.
On discussion?
Under discussion, thank you. This essentially is just putting some teeth behind the ordinance now, because in past we've used to have various mechanisms where the building inspector could levy a fine, but most people would laugh at it. This is the kind of situation now where this particular type of a fine structure, as we have done in a few other things, gives him the ability to bring people to court, and it has some teeth. Essentially, it's being able to enforce the ordinance we just passed. Thank you, Mr. President.
Further discussion? None being. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from city officials?
City Solicitor Elizabeth Renaud submitting a traffic ordinance amendment for resident sticker parking. Ordinance amending traffic, Chapter 42, Section 75 by adding the following new streets: Curtis Street, Daniel Street Court, and Kosciuszko Street.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I would like to thank the city clerk, Beth Renaud, and Lieutenant Przewski for all their work to try to get this through. It was brought to our attention that these streets, as well as one that's now in Ward 2, it used to be in 3, these streets had been granted resident stickers for years, ever since some of these programs were put into place. And this is more of a housekeeping thing because it was never formally put on the book. It's when the resident sticker program moved from the clerk's office over to the collector's office, and they started going through, they realized that these streets weren't on there, though they have been granted stickers forever. It's not like an individual is looking for a special exemption. These streets are streets that, for whatever reasons, over the course of time, have been granted stickers. So it's more of a housekeeping thing to put it formally on the books because it's a common practice that we adhere to now. So it's just to make it right. So I would encourage everyone to approve.
Okay. Any further discussion? None being. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further communications from city officials?
You have the ordinance amending traffic, Chapter 42, Section 75 by adding the following new street: Gedney Court.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Essentially, ditto. I'll make it short and sweet. Ditto. All right. Everything that Councilor McCarthy just said describing the other one applies to this particular street. And no further discussion. Thank you.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Petitions.
We have a request from the residents of Larchmont Road to hold a block party on September 21st, 2013, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a rain date of September 28th, 2013.
I think you missed the page.
Skip the page.
Page 15.
Skip page 15.
Skip the page, Councilor.
I did skip a page. I don't have it.
Yeah.
You should be in 15.
I have it.
This one, don't have it? Okay.
Okay.
Got
That's
enough.
all right. Petition from Verizon and Mass Electric to install a joint pole on Juniper Ave.
Hearing ordered September 26, 2013. Further petitions.
We have a petition from Comcast to install a conduit on Essex Street.
Hearing ordered September 26, 2013. Further petitions.
We have a petition from National Grid to install a conduit on Lafayette Street.
Hearing ordered September 26, 2013. Further petitions.
We have a request from Honeydew Donuts located at 138 Canal Street for extended hours of operation, current hours of operation Monday through Sunday, 6 to 10 p.m., Request hours of 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Sunday.
Hearing ordered September 26, 2013. Further petitions?
We have an application from Footprint Power, Salem Harbor Real Estate LP for an inflammable license to keep or store the following 95 gallons of flammable liquids, 84,235 gallons of combustible liquids, and 53,600 standard cubic feet of flammable gases equal to 580 gallons for the property located at 24 Fort Avenue.
Hearing ordered September 26, 2013. Further petitions?
We have a request from the residents of Larchmont Road to hold a block party on September 21st, 2013 from 11 to 6 p.m. with a rain date of September 28th, 2013.
Council Prevey?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that it be granted.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We have a request from Nick Bachran, chairman of the Pass Mass Amendment, to pass a resolution endorsing their efforts to amend the Massachusetts Constitution. Corporations are not people, money is not speech.
Council Sosnowski, can you take this?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that this matter be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs. Or do you think it should go to the Committee of the Whole, possibly?
Either one. I mean, you can do.
Why don't we move this to the Committee of the Whole, please? All right.
Council Sosnowski moves to the Committee of the Whole. Any discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We have a request from the Salem YMCA to hold a road race in use of city streets on October 20th, 2013.
Council McCarthy?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for approval.
On discussion?
Well, I'm inclined not to approve because it has Jason Silva's name on it, but no, it's an annual event that the Y has been holding for a number of years. It raises money for a great organization. I know, actually, I've spoken to them about this. Obviously, we're trying to step up some of the things that we do with regards to road races, particularly in some of the neighborhoods. We're really getting on top of them to make sure that they reach out to Lieutenant Przewski. They actually now have required to have a parking plan where they're going to park. They're going to we're going to start posting some of the streets in the neighborhood, no event parking, stuff like that, just to try to minimize some of the impacts. Obviously, a road race is impactful. We're also working with Ellen Tarkowski in a way to try to just put out a simple, brief reverse 911, just boom, just for informational, just for everyone, just to let everyone know there's going to be a road race in your neighborhood, such and such a date, such and such a time. I mean, obviously, just plan accordingly. I mean, most people have experienced them. They start in the Willows, they run right through real quick, and they finish up coming down Fort Avenue. So hopefully it will be a good day, a good event, and hopefully we raise some money for a great cause.
Okay. Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions?
We have an application for a carnival by Fiesta Shows for October 18, 2013 through October 31st, 2013.
Councilor McCarthy?
Okay,
You want to defer?
it's Ward 1, I understand, but
Thank you.
Mr. Dean,
Yes, he's here. Thank you, Mr. President. I move for approval.
Councilor McCarthy moves for approval. On discussion?
On discussion, thank you. Mr. Dean from Fiesta Shows is here with us in case we want to waive the rules for any questions. Every year I've been given the privilege and the honor of coming up in here and saying that, and no disrespect to Mr. Dean and his operation, it's deemed the necessary evil or the necessary whatever you want. Some people don't like carnivals for whatever reason, but when you talk to anybody, notice that through the approval sheets, it's approved by Chief Tucker. Anybody in the police department I've talked to is they enjoy having it because when families come from wherever they're coming from and they get to Salem, it's all of a sudden the kids start asking, what do I got to do? So it's a nice added amenity. When we do, I'm going to ask to waive the rules to allow Mr. Dean to speak. One of my questions would be is that lot currently is being used by the PBD Essex for parking for their construction vehicles. And during this 2.5 week time, I'm just curious if Mr. Dean has worked out with them where they will be parking, because obviously that's a huge, obviously October, parking is a huge issue to begin with. The fact that we've minimized some of the impacts that the construction at the PBD Essex has by them reaching out and renting this lot for their workers. I'm just curious as to where they'll be going during this time period, and then I'll open up if any of my other colleagues have any questions of Mr. Dean. So I would ask to waive the rules to allow Mr. Dean to address the council.
Yes, Eugene Dean from Newburyport, Mass. In answer to your question, the city has worked out a thing with the museum. That was in motion, I think, a month or so ago. So that's all been cleared. Yes.
Councilor O'Keefe.
Through you, a question that Councilor McCarthy got into last year. You're going to move the fence so the fence that's now in the front or was in the front will be at the canal?
Yes.
Like you did last year?
Block off the
We move
canal
it,
so you
block
can't
off
get-
the canal at the back? Okay. Councilor McCarthy, you had that stipulation last year, too.
Councilor McCarthy.
I guess my follow-up question to that would be, since there is no fence anymore because the fence is not there, are you going to be providing provisions to bring your own fence to fence?
I own portable fencing. that we
Okay, so
can-
you'll fence the back and you'll fence the front when you guys aren't in operation.
And we don't want to lose a customer.
No, I hear you.
Any further questions, comments? Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Let's see. Further petitions.
We have a list of license applications for public guides and taxi operator, vehicle for hire operator only.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move that all of these be granted.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions.
We have one taxi operator for Adonis Reyes.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that this particular application be denied.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions.
The 3 tag day licenses for Salem High School.
Councilor Sosnowski.
The only question I have here is, one of them's on the 29th. We'll be meeting before then. Okay, never mind. Excuse me. I move that these matters be referred to Community Ordinances, License, and Legal Affairs.
Any discussion?
No discussion.
All those in favor? Opposed? Further petitions.
We have one drain layer contract operator license application for PV Barone Corp.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you. I move this one be granted.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further petitions.
We have a list of claims.
Councilor Sosnowski.
I move that these matters be referred to the Community Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
All those in favor? Opposed? Further petitions.
We have one drain layer bond and several sign bonds.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that these matters be referred to the Community Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs, and returned approved.
All those in favor? Opposed? Unfinished business.
We have second passage of an ordinance amending traffic, Chapter 42, Section 56, zones established parking prohibited, repeal Congress Street.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption by second and final passage.
Any discussion?
No discussion, Mr. President.
All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Further unfinished business.
We have second passage of an ordinance amending traffic, Chapter 42, Section 51B, zones established, repeal Palmer Street, and add Chapter 42, Section 74, towing zones Palmer Street.
Councilor McCarthy.
Move for second and final passage.
All those in favor? Opposed? Further unfinished business.
We have second passage of an ordinance amended by adding Chapter 14-46, fingerprint-based criminal record background checks.
Councilor Sosnowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption of second and final passage.
All those in favor?
Under discussion, Mr. President.
Discussion?
Yeah, very.
Too quick for you.
I don't, everybody wants to go home soon again. Had a conversation with Police Chief Paul Tucker, Chief Tucker, and what I thought might have been skipped is not. The original piece is perfect, and we're going to go with that. Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? So moved. Councilor O'Keefe.
Move adjournment. Well, I thought you wanted to.
Threw you off. Sorry.
I'm busy signing
All those
something.
in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Did you need that just in case?
I got it.
We got it,
I
okay.
thought- yeah, that's
Don't
what I
go.
showed you.